I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm very, very late. I'm so sorry. I'm late. Okay, I was trying to sort out something that I cannot necessarily, what do you call this? There's something that I notice every time I go live. I don't turn on my monetization, and somebody, I'm so sorry, I forgot who it was. Very kind person said, well, hey, you need to turn on your monetization while you are live. You just need to go to your YouTube studio, which I'm trying to do right now. This is what I've been trying to do the whole time. And it's not showing me what I need to see in order to turn on my monetization. Because another thing that I noticed at the end is that I got hundreds of people that were watching, and before they enter, they did not see even one ad. And that's not how it's supposed to be done. Typical YouTuber. So, anyways, guys, good evening, everybody. I see that my what you call this, my network is jumping again. Please do let me know whenever I freeze. And another thing that I also forgot is turn on the inverter and then communicate with you the way we have been doing via the inverter because it is now 20 to 7 and the lights did not go off yet. Remember, I said, why is load shedding so erratic these days? I don't understand. Yesterday, this time, we were on load shedding all the way till about 8. I think it was 2 hours. And now, today, it is not. What is going on with the load shedding schedule, people? Because I cannot keep up like this. I need to know so I can set my times and things like that. Like, what's happening? Can somebody help me out there? Did I miss out in an update from the Minister of Electricity? I still find that very funny. How do we have a Minister of Electricity and all of that? Welcome to South Africa, they say. We have a Minister of South Africa. Oh, I am so sorry, guys, that this thing is. I tried to control it with the remote. I don't think the remote is working. I've been pressing and pressing to reduce the illumination. It's too bright. So if it's, but it's good for me as as a content creator because it illuminates the room so that you guys can see me perfectly. But you are watching, you might get disturbed by that light. It is a YouTube short sign which I got today. It was delivered to me today by you okay, DHL, but YouTube it's like kind of like gifting YouTubers that have been consistent with uploading videos on their channels, that also been consistent with uploading shorts on their channels. So with me, I'm not necessarily been very consistent with my shorts. I have been, it's just that this case, yo, it's keeping me busy plus my work. And then to create a short sometime, it takes a while. It takes a while. Maybe I need to, I don't know if you see my shorts, you can go to my short shelf and see sometimes I dance, sometimes I dance and I do some little like impersonations and stuff like that. That's the stuff that I do a lot on my Instagram. If you want to see how silly I am, go to my Instagram Atlantis underscore Dumagute. There you would cringe. Excellent. If you want to cringe, just go to my Instagram. That's all I would say. If you are a sucker for pain, go to my Instagram. Maybe you might even get entertained. Who knows? But I see you guys have been doing some live chat. Before I start, let's get into the live chats, then we will talk. We will talk about Mtogo. Mtogo broke my heart, people. Mtogo broke my heart. Yeah, maybe that's another reason why when I look at friends, I look at them like, are you my Judas? Hmm, time will tell. Anyways, please call me SK. Clantus is a celeb now. Why? What did I do? He can start as late. I'm so sorry. No, I apologize. I am not a diva at all. Trust me. I see diva tendencies. No, I'm not. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I'm late. Seriously, I am. This what the, He can start late as the state that's on the special K case. We will sub and like anyways. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just yeah, just twist the dagger some more, a little bit more, please. Where else can we get truthful updates? Sunday Sun. They're incredible, and they're far more credible than I am because they are professionals. Me, I'm just a member of the public gallery. I think that's the. How do you guys feel about being called the public gallery? Because you know how YouTubers have like these cute names for their community, and I feel like I don't call you guys anything, and I feel like in court, if you go to court, the court you find that there's what do you call this? There's the judge, then there is the staff of the court, then they are the defense lawyers and the state. Then you have the dock. Behind the dock, that's when you have the okay Ngodi, where these prisoners go into, and then behind that is the public gallery. That is where the public can sit and listen to the case. So I consider this channel as the public gallery because we're not lawyers. We are sitting, we're observing, we are hearing things, and then we talk amongst each other. And it doesn't mean what we're talking about, it is the truth. We are just busy speculating, we are busy with our own opinions, trying to make sense of this whole thing. The only time we can say this is for sure is when the court pronounces. When the court says guilty, or when the court says not guilty, or when the court says I there is no sufficient evidence in this case, I'm throwing it out. But still, if it throws it out, we're still going to be outraged. And once we're outraged, we are still going to do what? Continue to speculate. And the people that we still believe that were in that house and know the truth, who shot Senzo Meyiwa, they will forever have the cloud hanging on their heads for the rest of their lives. That is if docket number two, which I think this case, from where I'm sitting, guys, from where I'm just talking about me here and my two IQs. As a member of the public gallery, I am saying that this case is going to be thrown out due to insufficient evidence. I've said it, I'm registering it. This case is going to be thrown out. The five men that stand accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa will walk, okay, maybe not necessarily walk free, especially accused number five. I'm not quite sure what is the criminal status right now. All of them, are they in jail? Are these guys in jail? I know of number five because apparently he's a well known hitman, or what do you call this, Inkabi, as we call them in Zulu. And what about four, three, two, and one? Are they also in prison? Because once this case is thrown out, they go back to their hole and go serve the rest of their miserable lives in jail for whatever it is that they have done, especially accused number five. So what's happening there? Somebody please balance me there. Are they all accused of crime? In fact, serving prison term, apart from accused number five, who is serving and who is a free person or supposedly be free. So I think that is what I'm saying. I'm already predicting it. I'm listening. Mtobo today, he just buried everybody in that house on the 26th of October 2014, including himself. No matter how adamant he was, I mean, he was trying to be as assertive and as quite strong. And I think even yesterday he was like, he doesn't understand why people want him to admit something that he did not do. Maybe you did not do, but you saw who did it. Or just say, I did not see who did it, but it was just the six of us, seven of us. I did not see who did it, but it was just the seven of us. Trust me, you are not going to serve a prison term for something that you did not see. You just heard, but you did see a scuffle between two people. Who were those two people amongst the seven of you? That's the question. What's so difficult about answering it, Ntogo? And you still bring this intruder thing back in the house. And yet, this it was crazy. But we'll talk about it. Let's go back to the live chat and then we'll get there. Oh, another thing. Okay, no, maybe this one I shouldn't address. Oh yeah. it was not because of the comment I think I got from tears. But because I was already thinking about it, I mean, this is my usual self. Actually, in case you do not know, this is my usual self. The reason why I was keeping my beard was, I don't know, to be honest. I think I was just going through, I am accepting getting old. I'm accepting getting old. I think I like getting old. I think I'm enjoying getting old. So I kind of like wanted to see exactly what's happening. Of course, as you guys can see, my beard is pitch black, but my hair is almost 100% white. I've always had white hair since growing up, since I think at the age of 9, but it was not as much as what I had or now. I think now because of age, now it's adding on to the other gray hair, but I don't know why it's leaving my beard because I would like to be white, completely like white, and maybe come up with some kind of look as an older person or as an older man. Because I don't want to be accused of midlife crisis. No ways. That's not me. I don't want that. I'm enjoying getting old. Someone's gonna say, we as the clan. Oh, that's another one. Do you want the public gallery or the clan? No clan, is it like we are a clan? Clances? Clan? Which one is it that you would like? The clan or the public gallery? Let's vote. I'll also put it in my community post and so that we can do a proper voting there. But I would also like to hear from you firsthand. What do you guys think? Clan? Do you want me to refer y'all as the clan, members of the clan or members of the public gallery? Which one is it? Which one is it? Thank you so much, Someone's Pillar, for reminding me that initially I was calling my community the clan, but some reason I kind of like dumped it because it just sounded a little bit cocky for me. Please call. Please call me. SK says, as a clan, I guess we'll wait. Oh, okay. So you're agreeing with someone's pillar, or go read the Daily Sun is credible. Someone says, nope, we support our own YouTube. Thank you. We appreciate that. One Nation FM, that's my station. So I'm watching you YouTubers closely for info. The pressure is getting worse. Lorenda says, evening, how is everyone doing? We're doing very well. Thank you so much. I hope you had a great day yourself, Lorenda. Tandy, hey clan. Hi Tandy. Kado's channel. Hi Kado's channel. Good evening. The Madekwana Abu. I hope I didn't butcher that. Actually, my favorite South African language is Venda, Chivenda. Yeah, I know it's tough. It's South Africa's French, I call it. Snazzy Doll says, good evening, all. Good evening to you. The lighting is fine. Oh, great. Thank you so much. Sibanda, how are you all in this channel watching? We are all doing well. Thank you so much. How are you doing, Sibanda? Maria, love from the USA. Finally, we get the USA in the house. Yesterday, we missed y'all. Where were y'all? We were all over the world, but the USA yesterday. Dorcas, I don't regret discovering you from my Siblelo, my girl. That's my girl, that one. Man, you crack me up with your sense of humor. Trust me, it's not planned. Lorenda says, hey, it's our truth. As the, is it YouTubing ones? Save face blue smiling. It's our opinion indeed. It's our truth. That's what makes sense in our heads. Self burial says, please call me SK. South Miller says, I think accused number 3, 4, and 5 are convicted, not sure of one. Oh, my goodness. So they are thugs. I'm convinced about number 5 because I've heard it is a hitman, but I didn't know about 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slew says, hey, Tutugo. Okay, now you're going to call me by my government name. Clint is also my government name, anyways, because Ntutuko and Clantus are in the ID. So okay, cool. I have no problem with that. If you're comfortable calling me Ntutuko, I'm cool with that. I don't have a problem. Thank you. Please call me SK. What is the scuffle in South Africa? EFF brawl scuffles? I don't know. I'm not following them. Tandy, you look different with your cheese scarf. I get used when the hair like you more with hair. Oh, I'm used to you with the more hair. Okay. Okay. No, yeah, no. Actually, this is my signature look. What you are looking at is my signature look. What I was doing, maybe it was a midlife crisis type of thing. I don't know why I was not going to my barber. Even himself was like, Christmas came early today. I see some Father Christmas. I'm like, shut up, do your thing. Please come here. It says white hair since 9 years. Yeah, ufuzo. They call it ufuzo or something. Or maybe just lack some melanation on it. I don't know. But people used to say you're gonna be rich. And then I realized there's no such a thing that you are going to get rich. This was to make other kids not to tease you. Instead, to be jealous of you. Because I am rich. Where's my wealth? Where's my wealth if that was the case? I think it was just to shut other kids up. I think it's like a wisdom of some sort is that okay, let's make them jealous instead of them teasing him for having gray hair. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yoli Swamzobe says the clan. Okay, the clan gets one vote. I love the clan slew. That's a second vote. Public gallery one. So 1, 2. Please call me SK clan. That's 3, 1 public gallery. Uh, the Duchess Dame. Okay, Duchess Dame. So you have like two titles in the royal family, eh? That's nice to be you, madam. Good evening, the villagers. Oh, okay, there's a new one that has been placed on the table. The villagers. Oh, okay, let's do this one. This syllable is it? Nolu babalo. Nolu babalo. Molo bhuti wami kunjani ngiphilile kakhulu wena unjani? All right, God, thank you for coming in, Nolu babalo. Kuliso, good evening, fam. Good evening to you too, all the way in the Netherlands. See, I know your people. Goeie avond. Goede avond to you too. My throat. I haven't spoken Afrikaans in a while, y'all. Every time when I try to do it, I remember your throat, the voice box is quite delicate now. We can't go and then the next thing I'm being silly. I'm being silly. Okay, just don't mind me. Please come here, SK. Bad lighting. Great cheese cob. Very nice shave. Bad lighting? My lighting is bad? Okay, let's try and solve. It's still bad because I thought this was helping. Oh my goodness. Hmm. I hate it when things are not a little like. uh, Okay, I got. No, never mind. Let me not just disclose everything about me. Cuddle Clan. So that's what 5. Public Gallery 1, Clan 5. I see where this is going, but I'm still going to put a post. Kalisto says, lol, you remembered. Of course I remembered. Of course I remember. Okay, guys, let's talk about what happened today. So the first thing that I took note of is Longway's statement. Okay, fine, I get the strategy when the lawyers are asking the person on the stand, because of course Mtogo is correct to say then you need to call Longway to be the one that tells you this. But at the same time, we still need to hear his opinion because you know what the opinion as well will kind of like implicate the lie as well as the truth. So he decided that I'm not going to speak for anybody in case I implicate myself or in case I expose myself that this story of an intruder is true or not. So I'd rather just pass it on and say, don't ask me, ask him. But why Longo would lie so much in the statement? He lied to this, what you call this? Is it Colonel Stain? When Colonel Stain took the stand, he said, in his opinion, Longo did not shoot Senzo Meyiwa because Senzo Meyiwa was shot in Longo's presence. And then we all know that Longo ran away. Now we are hearing a statement that Longo wrote to the police that he helped you, how are you in two places at the same time? You ran away, Mos, and you never came back. And that's the question we want to know. Where did you go to? But now you are helping Senzo Meyiwa into the X6. Upumapi, is it your ghost? But then again, of course, we need to long way to be understand and answer this question. Like, where were you? Because everybody said you were gone. You kind of like, Ntoko says you walked out. Zandile and yeah, Zandile says you ran away. Which one is it? We That was very interesting for me. But anyways, that's not concerning Mthokozisi. But the other thing that also that shocked me in his testimony is that he heard the first gunshot while he was in the house. Remember, in the house, he held Christian. And I still want to know why the lawyers are not asking him about Christian, because the reason why he was not part of the scuffle and the pushing into the kitchen, this suspect, is because he was protecting Christian from harm's way. So when the first gunshot rang off, then he ran away, leaving the same boy that he's trying to protect. Why did he leave Christian? I want to know. But of course, his testimony, he has wrapped it up. The cross examination is wrapped up. But I want to know, why did he leave Christian behind? Why didn't he take him with him and ran next door or ran from suspect number two? I don't get that part. But he says he then heard a second gunshot. And then he was asked, were there two or three gunshots? And then he said there were two. But we know there's Samsung said she heard three. We heard Zandila said she heard three. The third one was Fady. It sounded different, but Ntogo only heard two. I thought that was very interesting. Very interesting. And that is a very important piece of information to be admitted into the records or evidence. But it did not make sure. It did not make sure for me, which goes to show that there's no such a thing. There was never an intruder. And they know there was never an intruder. Okay? I am going to share the link, and then if you want to come in and share with me your own thoughts about today's proceedings. I must also confess that I did not watch the entire thing. I only caught maybe the last 40 minutes of it, because today was hectic at work, and then I thought I was going to also watch the replay at the later stage in preparation for the live stream. Unfortunately, I still did not get that opportunity because I had a virtual YouTube meeting. There's a community of YouTubers that YouTube has put together, and so we have like virtual meetings. Yesterday we had one. Today we also had one. And your boy was chosen. Your boy is chosen for an experiment in some YouTube, which I cannot disclose right now, but it's something big that they are doing. And then this one is a part of it. So YouTube is kind of like recognizing me in one way or the other. I just hope they would just also choose me for YouTube Black though, because that's where everybody wants to be. And they send me a gift. This YouTube short sign. That's why it's illuminating at the back. I removed that lamp that was broken. I think one foot is broken, so it's kind of like making things look horrible for me. I like things to be straight. But anyways, as I was saying that I did not manage to watch the replay, so I would like you guys to fill me in. Please come through. The link is already in the live chat. Click on it and then come through, and then you can update me. See, I'm turning the tables on you guys. Update me what you heard. What do you think you heard that shocked you that I did not hear? from Mthokozisi's testimony today. Please, I beg you. So because the last 40 minutes was telling for me, in regarding Mthokozisi. I don't think it was 40 minutes. Maybe it was less, far less than that. Let's say 25 minutes, because sooner or later I heard, is it the state asking the judge that he and his colleagues agreed that the next witness is going to take the stand on Monday, and that was it. And I was like, oh, come on, But anyways, let's see what else. Oh yeah, the refusal of Kelly Kumalo to give EID to what is his name, to Mthokozis. Was there any discussion questions that were asked around that? Because I feel like that should be like interrogated. What did Kelly Kumalo say to you, and why did she refuse to give you the ID and other, probably other stuff? And then on top of that, did she mention anything about swim swap? Because what's his name? Senzo was already dead when the swim swap was done. Did they interrogate that on Togo's visit? Because I would have liked to hear his own opinion about that, and how does he feel that somebody, when his own friend is laying dead in the hospital, and somebody is busy utilizing his identity document and making swim swaps. I would have liked to hear his opinion on that. Does he think it's a crime and this person needs to be arrested? I would have liked to hear that. If he did, please let me know. Please come through, guys. Please, I'm begging you. The link is up. I beg. Okay. I think the other thing that I did here was, somebody, while we were busy at work, somebody says, hey, they were asking about Ilobolo between Senzo Meyiwa and Kelly Kumala. I was like, what are you talking about? There's apparently Senzo Meyiwa, Lobola, Kelly Kumala. I'm like, isn't that, what's that word again when you marry two people at the same time? And because it's a crime, by the way, that's a crime. You are not allowed to marry more than one person, especially in the civil side of things. So now I almost said it's bestiality. Bestiality. That's something else. That it's not. It's not. But bigamy. Is it bigamy? Okay, whatever it's called. So yeah, he was like, yeah, that came out in court that Senzo Meyiwa ulobole unakuzana uKelly Kumalo. I'm like, but didn't he have? Okay, wait. Let's stop. Mandisa and Senzo Meyiwa, were they married or they were engaged? I keep hearing two different stories. Were they married or they were engaged? I'd like to hear. Please update me on that one, because I'm like, okay, clearly I did not know as much as I thought I knew about Senzo Meyiwa, as well as the people around him. And which kind of like as well, I get why. Okay, I don't get why somebody like Kelly Kumalo would go for another woman's man. Maybe it's because she was saying, or she was justifying it, is that hey, he's not married to her. He's not married to her, so I can do whatever I want. But if he was married to her, maybe that will be out of bounds or something like that. I don't know. Please let me know what was the status of the marital status of Senzo Meyiwa, and I'm putting the link one more time before I put it again in the next 5 minutes. I need somebody to come through and educate me on that one, because I'm a little bit confused. So that, and then the other one is about Kelly Kumalo, about her children. Did Kelly Kumalo run with the kids? And I think there was apparently there was some kind of a debate between Mshololo and Mthokozisi, and then Mthokozisi answered apparently in the rudest way you can think, where I don't know what he said, but apparently he was quite rude towards Mshololo when Mshololo questioned about Kelly Kumalo running into the bedroom, that did she run with children? Which is a good question because I'm still wondering, in the midst of all of this that's happening in the Kumalo household, where is Christian? Is it frozen too? Is it running about? Is it watching all of this happen? Because at 4 years old, you might think the child is young and don't remember. I can tell you many 4 year olds will tell you what they saw when they were 2 years old. Because you as a parent, you'll be like, ha, how do you remember this? Chances are what happened in that house is engraved in his mind. But of course, we're not going to bring a child to the stand and question them. No, I would not, I will not accept that. I will not accept that. I will not accept that. But this is something that maybe as he grows a little bit older and the memories may come back flashing, and then he will be able to say, ah, ma, I remember seeing you. Or, ha, Umalumlongwe Wuye. I know it was him. But then, of course, it will be a long time ago, and this matter will no longer be relevant to go back into the criminal court unless he writes a book and tells us the truth of what memory flashes did he have about what happened on the 26th of October 2014. I don't know. Does that make any sense? Because to me, it sounds like something plausible that might happen. At 4 years old, we think kids don't know things, but they're observant and they know things that we think they don't know. Think about yourself when you were 4 year old. Unless, okay, never mind. Let's not let's not go. Okay. And then the question, I think I started coming in around the time he was being questioned about the cans of, is Hunter's Gold a beer? What is it? So he was being questioned around the alcohol content that he had consumed. Because from there, what his name did, what's her name? Mshololo. Put it to him that you were drunk in not so many words. But anyways, she questioned him about how much did he drink. He said he drank 2.5 cans of Hunter's Gold. And then, of course, a picture was shown to him. And then, of course, they said the Hunter's Gold you're talking about is not in the picture. I understand the implication. The implication is it was not Hunter's Gold. Probably it was Smirnoff or something stronger because it's not there in the picture. It's only you who's telling us, Ubutseneke, you drank Hunter's Gold. But how do we know that it was not something much more stronger? Secondly, how do we know it was 2.5 cans? Because in the picture, we only see 2 cans. And these 2 cans that you are seeing, we don't see Hunter's Gold. So the credibility, I think she was working on his credibility. The other part that made me kind of like laugh a little bit was when I don't know, apparently she asked him about his qualifications earlier, like his highest level of education, because she wanted to ascertain his comprehension. I was like, shots fired, shots fired. Mushololo shoot, shot some shots because I understand her. I understand her because sometimes myself, whenever I'm talking to someone, I will suss out their level of understanding because I've learned over the years that people have a tendency of not listening. Okay, not everybody. Some people have a tendency of not listening, and as a result, they make their own conclusions. Sometimes when you send a text and then the response is like, what are you talking about? Did you understand what I wrote? I think that's one of the things that really does work me out. Work me out is that people sometimes do not comprehend. And so now, every time when I'm going to have a discussion with someone, I first want to see the level of understanding. And I'm not saying that they're stupid, but I'm just saying I do not want to put myself in a situation where now I have to explain all over again something. I want to know that you understood the first time. If I send you a text, I'll start off with very short sentences, and then the sentences will increase into a paragraph. And that's how I know that you understand what I'm saying, rather than me sending a whole paragraph and then you get lost in translation with these texts that I've written, sometime in email. And you're like, I'm telling you, in the workplace, it is a war zone with words. It's a war zone. So I understood Msholo. I was like, girl, you're like me. I want to know your level of understanding before I can go any further with you. Are you like that too? Are you like that as well? Because the thing is, if you're not going to do this, you might find yourself in trouble someday. Like, no, this is what I said. Here is proof. And then they'll be like, but they want to go back and follow up if they understood you. And you're like, but then I don't want to look like I'm being intellectually superior to them. That is why I did not do that. You don't want to find yourself explaining yourself. That's it. That's just my point of view around the comprehension thing. And then, of course, the cans, they circulated around that. Of course, Mshololo went for the jugular and said, when the so-called intruders entered the house, you were drunk because you cannot describe the second suspect, the very person that ran after you before you jumped into the Ngache household or into the Ngache yard. I was like, hmm. And secondly, Mtogo, another thing that I noticed, he will say something, but when he's cornered, that's when he would change his statement. It was dark, but immediately he hears about Zandile's and Tapseng's testimony that there were these Apollos that illuminates the township. Then he was like, yeah, but I'm not saying it was dark, dark. It was dark. Okay, what was it? Dark? You cannot see. Oh, it was illuminated, but the illumination was not too bright. Like what is please call me SK says, I look dark, but yeah, I'm looking light in front of my skin. I look light, but apparently I look dark. I'm darkened with the lighting. See, he should have just said no, it was dark and stick to that. Not now when he hears somebody's evidence in chief and suddenly he's like, no, actually, yeah, Pella, when you would say, and I would say, I didn't understand that part, and I don't understand why the defense team or the defense lawyers don't seek for assistance from the judge, because you have to ask the judge to assist you with a witness that is seemingly hostile. Because I thought that Mtogo was being hostile, which kind of like made me believe that okay, the people that were telling me earlier that Mtogo was downright rude, I believed it. And I think he was trying to over also power in a most misogynic way towards Mshololo. And I think Mshololo was catching it. It's just that she was not going to entertain him until he answers the questions she's asking him. And of course, they were agitating him. He was getting agitated because whatever he was trying to protrude towards her was not working. And then what else did I? Oh yeah, the clearing of the cans. Remember, Zandile said every time they were done drinking, she would clear off the can and throw them in the dustbin that was outside the living room. And then I'm like, hmm. At home, I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol, but I've sat with people that drink. And let me tell you something, they will pile them all up. And guess who has to clean at the end when they're all gone? Yep, this one at the end. Because people that drink don't clean after themselves unless they have OCD. They don't like seeing things scattered on the table. They get anxious, so they take it. But if you are visiting somebody's house, you don't pick up cans. You leave everything to the people of the house to clear off. Yes, Zandile, that was her home, but she was drinking herself. Do you think she was going to stop the fun that they were having and be clearing off these cans? No. So now, of course, he was asked about, did you see somebody clearing off those cans? Oh my goodness. That's when I saw that Mtogoya Delela Nai. I think at that point he has already resigned to the fact that he is a good boy who's respectful. Like yesterday, I felt like he was holding it. He was holding it. And I appreciate a person that wants to be rude, but they're holding it. because they're respecting the older people in around them. They're respecting the court in this case. But today, who did they lead? I was like, yeah, you broke my heart, boy. You broke my heart when you started talking about the intruders. And you broke my heart when you stuck to this intruder story. And then now you're breaking my heart by being rude. It was just rude. That's how I saw it. And then the last point now before now the what do you call this? The court adjourned until Monday was about the ID book. Apparently, when they talked about the ID book, remember I just said that Mtogo has a tendency of changing his he has a tendency of changing his what he said. He has said that when they went to Kelly Kumalo's house in Malberton, this is now somebody narrating this to me about that part because I didn't hear it. When they went there, he went there with Senzo's brother, Stan. And then when they got to Stan to Malberton, indeed, Kelly Kumalo came and then Stan asked for Senzo's identity book. And then apparently she refused at first. She refused and she refused. And then I don't know who, because apparently even police were involved or something like that. And then that's when she handed the what do you call this, the ID. Me, I heard, or was it yesterday's testimony that the ID was given in front of him. But today he was sitting in the living room and the kitchen was somewhere far away. That's not in front of you. That's not something that is handed over in front of you. And then I don't know why Mshalolo did not challenge him on that. But yesterday in your evidence, I mean in your testimony, you said Itika Senzo was handed over in front of me. Not where I was sitting in the living room, standing and what do you call this? And Kelly were in the kitchen, and the kitchen is further down. The doors a little bit wider, or whatever the case was. And I'm like, come on, dude, stick to your story. Which again, I'm going to say it in this live with all of y'all. Do not let the police, if you ever find yourself in a situation, somebody broke into your house, you saw somebody getting killed, or you were mugged, or somebody was mugged in your presence, and the police come to you and say you were there as a witness, what's your statement? Take the pen and paper and the statement form, fill it in yourself, and write what you saw so that you can stand by your words. Because if somebody else is writing the statement for you, you will get into court just like in Togo, where now you're going to be stuck on one word that you never said. But the investigator, what do you call this? The person that wrote the statement was the one that added that word. Because at the end, you always want the police out of your what do you call this, out of the way. Immediately you are done with them. So they're gonna read you what they wrote. And the moment you say, yeah, I agree, and then you sign, that means you have to stand by those words because you have your signature on, right? So please, whatever you do, do not allow the police to do it for you. As long as you can read and write, you do it yourself. Can we agree on that one? All of us. Can we agree on that one? Because I think this is teaching us a lesson. It's a lesson that I also learned. I was like, whoa. If I ever find myself in a situation, I will tell the police, no, I mean, I want to write myself because I don't want to use words such as revolver when I know nothing about guns. I don't want to use words such as procrastination when I wanted to say wasting time, you know. And then when I get there, I'm like, no, I said wasted time. I don't know anything about procrastination. I don't even know how to pronounce the word. Why are you telling me these things? And then you start arguing with the lawyers and say, no, Pelamina, this is what I was told. Okay, if you were told, then why didn't you correct it? Anyways, that is where I kind of like caught it, and also it ended for me. So whatever happened during from the morning till I think about quarter to one. Is it quarter to one? Yeah, but maybe quarter. No, maybe 25 to one, quarter to one or so. because that's where I started catching the remainder because I thought they were going to go all the way till 3:30. I was so excited thinking, okay, now I have some free time. I'm just going to sit and watch the rest of the testimony, including the new witness, because I knew that Mthogo was going to conclude today. I missed out on Mumalo. I wanted to see and hear what he had in mind before Mshololo, and I missed, of course, the majority of Mshololo. I don't know if she did her magic. What happened, guys? I feel a little bit jealous on that one. I feel left out. Okay, let's go into the comment section. But anyways, guys, as you guys probably know, the court did adjourn until Monday when a new witness. I hope it's Gininda. Gininda. Please tell me it's Gininda. Who else want Gininda understand? Hey, I want Gininda, I mean, at this point. I don't care about everyone else. Ngifuna Gininda, I mean. He's got some questions, he's got some answers to give us. Please, please. Okay, let's get into the comment section. Sibonakali, so good evening from Sibo in Dubai. Woo! I would go with the clan. Okay, that's six. I believe we are, what do you call this? Opinionated one for that matter. We are very much opinionated, very much so. And I hope some people that keep coming and say, but they're not lawyers. That's a show. No, we are opinionated because we are entitled to our opinions. If you don't like it, there are 500 million channels on YouTube. Trust and believe me, you will find your clan too. Tandy says, accused number two, he doesn't have. Okay, so he's not serving any prison term. All right, he looks very young to me, very very young. Mlambo says, has the judge made up his mind? Nitini, but wait, I think he has made up his mind. I think at this point, he's just. I think if it was a normal case that is not as popular as Senzo Meyiwa's case, he would have used his discretion by now and said, you know what, this is wasting the court's time and throw this entire case. But because of public outrage and the interests that the public has on this case, he's just okay, there's gonna come a point. But for now, it's still too early. It's not early because going to the seventh witness for me, that case has gone beyond maturity. What different that my logic is what different or something different that's going to be said by witness number seven that all the other witnesses have not said yet. That's where I'm standing with this one. That is why I feel like if I was the judge, I would have said I have heard enough, and then I would adjourn or postpone the matter for maybe 5 days down the line, and then drop my verdict. And of course, the verdict will be insufficient evidence. Throw the whole thing out. And I think that is what he already has in his. He's made up his mind. This is not just to appease the public, to make sure that there's no outrage and no the blaming of the judiciary and say, oh, the judiciary in this country is corrupt, blah 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 blah. He was always with the Kumalos and all that stuff because that's what we're going to say anyway. That is exactly what we're going to once again drop our opinions about the judge. So right now he's sitting between a rock and a hard place, and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna hold up a little bit until the public itself probably would have realized that yeah, no, Vela Iki case and then we might not be outraged towards the judge. That's just me. Please call me SK. Special case said she forgot she gave birth. Why he left? Why she left Christian? Why did she leave Christian? A mother who grabbed a child in the face of danger. Some of them may even use the child as a shield. That is like a bad parent who do that. But a mother would have held their child, not run into the bedroom by themselves. Come on. More boy. Is it more boys or more boys? Judge must step down. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's also a bias as well. I think the judge at this point he realizes this is nonsense, and then he also straightening Igwegwe towards the what do you call this the defense because now but the way they're asking these questions it leaves one a little bit frustrated. Looking again, really, is that the question you are asking? I found myself going that way, and then I was not surprised when the judge would interject, and I would say, yes, this is the question you should be asking, not going in the direction, and then they will have said, okay, let me rephrase, my lord, showing that, oh yeah, I shouldn't have asked it that way. So I don't think he's being biased. I don't know. That's just me. I don't think he's being biased. I think he doesn't want the defense to make a mistake of now changing what the court is already doubting about the intruder story. And then now it shifts to the accused or the client for that matter. So that's why I think he's assisting them. Like, if you're going to go with this line of thing of questioning, then I'm going to start questioning your client. You understand what I'm trying to say? I know he is a little bit infuriating. He is infuriating, I must say, but I think he is protecting the fight because he already knows this thing is it's there's not this is nonsense that's being brought before him, especially the state. If you are the state doesn't have a case, sorry to those that think it does. I mean, the state does. It doesn't. There's no case, no case because I asked yesterday and I've been asking what evidence, tangibility that has been placed in this court as evidence so that we can chew on it. What is it? Please, somebody tell me. Maybe I missed it. Someone Spiller said the judge stresses me out. He doesn't have a poker face. I think he does have a poker face because a poker face is not always serious. I mean, if I'm playing poker, I will be laughing my lungs out, and then I'll show you my cards, and then you won't go, okay. I won't be like, oh, serious, because if I'm gonna be serious, I'm gonna laugh anyway. So I wonder if he's a cancer. I should check it out. Lorinda, congratulations. Face red heart shape. Thank you so very much. Yeah, YouTube is kind of like recognizing your boy, little bird. A little bird with just 6,000 subscribers. I thought YouTube recognizes people with like 50,000 and above, but at 6,000, that's great. I like that. More boy says, I believe every piece of evidence is very important. Okay, that's great. How do you say evidence is not material? Credibility of evidence is very important. Defense must scrutinize everything. No, I agree. I agree. Like, even yesterday, when he was asking about the materiality of the question that was asked, until Mshololo, to me, she made sense. And then he also realized that, okay, I misunderstood. So I just think that he wants you to like cutthroat questions, like no ambiguity about it. And the witness as well must not say, I don't understand the question. I think that is what he's trying to avoid. Like, let your question be as dry and rigid as possible. Don't use ambiguity. Because the way I can't remember when she said something that was ambiguous. No, it was Muma who said something that was ambiguous as well. Like, I think it was about that there was no intruder in the house, but he used it in such a way that also left me thinking, are you saying there were intruders or there were no intruders? So then, of course, the judge jumped. And then I'm like, yes, judge, you are right. That's exactly how he should have asked the question. But instead of re-asking it, I think he abandoned it or something. Oh, then he said, no, we'll get to that. Or he said he's going to put it in the arguments. I was like, oh, okay, okay. Now I'm getting frustrated by the defense team as well. I must be honest. But you're absolutely right, more boys. I absolutely agree with you. Every piece of evidence is important. Someone Peter says today's proceedings were very interesting. Togo was just shy to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I was hoping that you'll be so frustrated that that's okay, okay, okay. This is what you want to hear. And then he drops the bombshell. But no. Someone's pillar says update. Mtoko told Shololo that Mapopola lied about the Lobola negotiations. That Tumelo was said to be in Joburg for. Oh, so there was going to be Lobolas going on. Wow. Hey, let's drama, my friends, girl. Hey, Moboy says the case is centered on Kelly Kumalo, but the state is not interested to bring her. Why? That's a good question we are all asking. And I hope the defense team are going to launch an application to subpoena her because we want to hear why. And I also want to know why did she allow herself not to go to the stand to take the stand? Because if I were her and I want to have my day and answer the question, I would have said, no, 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 state. Ngifuna ukuya laphaya ngitshele lama-South Africans anemlomo ukuthi I am not involved. But no, she's happy. And now she's getting cancelled. Maybe that will force her to say something. Sibonagaliso says bigamy. Yes, it's bigamy. You are marrying. Yeah, it's bigamy indeed. Yeah, bigamy. Bigamy is when a woman marries two men. Oh, okay. It's not the other way around. What is when a man marries more than? I know it's polygamy, but in South Africa, according to customary laws, there's a process that you need to do in order to take a second wife, and the first wife must agree to take for you to take the second wife. I think that's what our customary law requires. Bonagaliso says, my understanding from Thokozisi's testimony is that Senzo was customarily married to Mandisa. Oh, okay. Also, Mlobolile naye. Okay, okay, okay. I can believe that. I can believe that. Someone's Peter says yes, they spoke about the ID, and he categorically stated that KK had the ID on the same day, Monday, of the SIM swap. Ciao. That's a crime right there. Why nobody is talking about that crime? She only gave it after police intervention to Senzo's brother on the day, Tuesday, the following day. Because I understand he arrived on Tuesday, anyways, right? Wow. So police had to intervene on something that does not belong to her. Who did she think she is to Senzo Meyiwa? A wife? Please call me SK. Say just got hit by load shedding. So far it's behaving. So far it's behaving. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go all the way like we did yesterday. So I might end this live because I was hoping that I would have more information and then we analyze the day today, but clearly it's not to be. But Monday is another day with a new witness. I cannot wait to see who it is. I hope it's Kinindi. Who claimed from Senzo's body? That's a good question. I think it was the parents. I think it was the parents. I think it was the parents. Sponagaliso says if they were in a civil marriage, Mandisa would have been able to sue KK for committing adultery with her husband instead of the street catfights. Hmm, that would have been good. Please comment. SK says darkish, lightish, longish. That I didn't get. Oh, you mean the when doing the explaining the gun? Ne? Yes, we heard things in this case. I'm just going to say Hunter's Gold Cider can. Oh, okay, it's a cider. What is a cider? I know, I know, I know, I know. Yeah, I feel the stones hitting me. Thank you. Yeah, I don't drink. Ouch. Okay, but what's a cider? Is it alcoholic? Is it juice? What's it? Gugu Shange Hemda say, good evening, everybody, and Butin Tlantla. How are you doing, my sister? By the way, Shange is also Dumagute, for those of you who don't know. So whenever you do Itagazelo, you have to start with Shange Dumagute. So my surname is Tagazelo. The main surname is Shange. Then you have to go over Pangandao and all those stuff, and yeah, and our Tagazelo is like this long. Oh, Ndima. If you know a person by Ndima, must know that that's a Dumagute right there. Someone's pillar says Mtoko said that when he walked out of the house, walked, not ran, the door was open. Who opened it? Because we know the door was closed. Hand orange covering eyes. Just after the first gunshot, hi, nothing makes sense anymore. I thought he ran out, opened the door and ran out. Who opened the door? Mtoko said the Mandisa was fiance. The question was Tumelo coming to negotiate about the law. Who Tumelo? Negotiate whose lobola? Mandisa and Senzo Meyiwa or Senzo Meyiwa and Kelly Kumalo? Yeah, my daughter. Someone Peter says Mtoko said that when he walked, okay, I think I've read that. Oh, okay, okay, no, no, no. Mtoko said that when he walked out of the house, the kitchen door was already opened. I guess by an invincible hand or invisible hand, clearly, because I'm asking who opened the door because the door was closed. Remember when Longway left, he closed the door. He didn't bang it in running. He just closed the door properly and left. So who opened it? And Togo said about the beer cans. I think okay, this is Togo Masondo. About the beer cans, I think the lawyers want to prove that the lounge was cleaned by somebody before the police came. And yes, Mapiri did clean up. Oh yeah, that's true. That's very true. But also the sobriety is also important. So that I think I did say I don't know. It was not a live. It was a video that I made that the reason why I don't drink is because I like my feet firmly on the ground. Secondly, I don't like to see the world spinning. And thirdly, I happen to see doubles. I will see you in doubles. So that is a state of my non sobriety. So I think that is what she was also getting at, Mushola. Look at again. When you were drunk, you saw two people, when in fact it was one person that is longer, who was wearing a hoodie with dreads and a hat. But you are absolutely correct as well, Togo, that she was also driving at that. But of course, Mtogo is not going to answer for Mapiri. You see, he's not going to answer for Mapiri. But yes, I think she was driving at that. Your cans were cleaned out by somebody who committed a crime at the crime scene by cleaning the crime scene. Please comment. SK says the judge's mouth today diarrhea. Was he talking about what? What did he do? The brim was unnecessary for the judge to bring up. He brought it again. I know yesterday he brought it up. Basically, it was he was assisting about the brim of the hat. He was. I think he was assisting because Togo was finding it difficult to describe the hat, and so I think he said it's a hat abatabadala, like older people those big type of hats. So yeah, that's a brim. Louis says the clan on the way in the what's the last word again? But I'm taking it that's vote number 7. Won the gallery, public gallery. Dude, okay, let me not. Maybe there's a misspell there. Nah, I hope so, because otherwise I'm gonna be so embarrassed. Please come here, says no one cleans trash and get rid of them in the middle of the party. That's a party pooper. That's a party pooper. So that is why me, when I sit with people that drink, I have a tendency of having, that recycling bin thing right next to them because I do have OCD, by the way. Yeah. But that is why I also don't sit a lot with them. I've sat amongst them, but I don't sit too long because of anxieties and all that nonsense that one has. So yeah. Smonagaliso says that sounds familiar. I mean OCD. Yeah, exactly. Unless the people have OCD and they will clean up after themselves, like they don't like to see what do you call this, a mess in front of them, you know. Please come here, SK says, accused number five with his longish chin. Don't talk about a person look like that. But he killed people. So yeah, he's fair game. He murdered people. Lorenda says, can we have the forensics in there? They will use what we want to know. Yeah, exactly. Also, the network. You know the what do you call this? Those phone numbers that were dropped by what's his name, Colonel Stain. Can they also apply for them so that we can hear what was the conversation about? Sonto Kumete says Geninda is big rubbish. I think so. Loretta says, "Can we have the forensics? Yeah, can we have the forensics? They will give us what we want to know. Tired of these clowns from the states, meaning the prosecutors." Donald Zion, hello. Just join. How are you, brother CD? I'm very well, thank you. Actually we're voting firsthand here whether you like to be called the clan or you like to be called the public gallery. So far, one the public gallery and seven the clan. So please do vote. I will also put it in my community posts, by the way. Coliso says, I want Kelly's mom. She would break down and tell the truth. I think when she will break down and tell the truth is when she's questioned about her morality. Because that is the thing I will put on the table to discredit her. That don't tell us about intruder. You already discredited her because your morality compass is facing a different direction. Immorality. How do you allow your daughter? Okay, let's leave that. But that will be my question. Like, how do I believe what you say when your credibility is skewed? But yeah, for strategic purposes, I will also call her understand. Provoke her, give struggles in such a way that she screams out the truth. Someone's pillar and Numero said, I put it to you that longer shot Senzo. Oh, you did. Oh, you did. That's great. I'm happy to hear that. And of course, Mtogo denied it. Because according to Mtogo, he had left, walked in the midst of a person holding a gun, walked, not ran. The audacity and the bravado of getting up, just push a man who's holding a gun, and you walk, and you open the door, and you close it, and then you disappear into thin air. And the gunman is like, okay, see you later. Come on, people. Okay, so Evelyn Daba. Good evening, Mr. C. I'm waiting for Longway. His bravado is fascinating to me. Exactly, that's what I was just saying as well. He's brave. He is so brave. But then again, didn't they say he's on drugs? He was found in some bridge in four ways or something like that. How credible would he be on the stand, though? Or do we want him high so that he can tell the truth? Is that what we want? I think so. It's easy to manipulate him. But the state will get up so many times in objections. But of course, they are not going to do that because he needs to be in his right mind to take the stand. So, nah, it's not going to work for us. Your Lisa, hi, your Lisa. It's good to see you here. Thank you so much for being here. My biggest loyal supporter. I absolutely love you, your Lisa. Um, MF MF Gininda is deployed in KZN. He should be removed there. Take him to take him to some far-flung area of South Africa. Take him there. Kekeso says, my heart aches for accused number two. He's been confined for more than 3 years. Oh, it's been 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. These people have been in there. 2020. Oh, and imagine if he's really, really innocent about this whole thing. The lawsuit he's going to lodge, I probably is going to be the biggest. I think the biggest one we've had thus far is 20 million rand that went to what's his name, the rapper who got shot by police. They mistaken him for criminals that they were running after. Who's that rapper again? I think yeah, that's the highest I think we've paid 20 million rand. And that rapper kind of like disappeared into thin air after that. I was thinking, why would I be rapping when I have 20 million rand too from the taxpayers? Lorenzo says, can we have the forensics in this case? They will give us what we want to know. Tired of the clowns from the state so far. I get it. The reason why I read it is because I understand that you were correcting, but I understood earlier. Anyways, don't have to worry. And I'm sure everybody also understood. But I get you. I get what you needed to repost now with the corrections. Okay, so says, oh my gosh, my did I forget? What's happening? I forgot to load the put it on the charger on my laptop. Okay, now we're fine. We're fine. Where are we? Kokeso says there's absolutely no way a mother would leave a child for danger. Her motherly instinct would have kicked immediately. And that's a huge lie. Exactly. Meaning, I don't know a woman who is a mother, even if she's non maternal, just leave their child and run for cover on their own without a child. If, okay, the child was left behind. You know how a monkey, if you want to, I don't know if you're hunting monkey and it's a mother, it will beg you not to take it because it's going to squeeze its breast to tell you, I'm a mother. I'm a mother. Don't do it. I'm a mother. Now, if monkeys can do that, why did she open the window and scream? Her child is in danger on the other side. Please help. No, she keeps quiet. She keeps quiet. Then there's a scuffle. She goes into the kitchen, leaves the bedroom with Tingo lying there, probably sleeping. Where is Christian? Somebody please tell me. The script is incomplete. What happened to Christian? Come on. Why are we being lied to like this? Yonisa says Madam Shalolo was a star today. Shalolo has always been a star to me. Since I've started watching her in this case. The previous one, don't know, never even heard of her. I kept hearing about her and Defo. And now I see it myself. She's good. It's just that I think she needs to polish her line of questioning, or at least she needs to think about a question before she asks it, because it also comes out with ambiguity, and you must not be ambiguous. That is why I'm talking. There was a point where Mthokozisi says, I don't understand the question. And then she would have to rephrase the question. And they was like, oh, now I understand you. Why didn't you ask it like that to begin with? So I think she just needs to polish that a little bit there and there. Ask yourself in your head, how would it sound like if I say it out loud? If you see that, okay, no, it doesn't sound the way I want it to might sound, then change it and rephrase and then ask. B West, police incompetence are at the heart of this case. I agree 100%. This Kinita person was just fumbling. Please call me SK. The only evidence they want us to chew is the dreadlocks. Yeah, this dreadlocks thing. Again, when Togo was describing suspect number two, I was only seeing what's his name? What is his name? Ulongwe. That's all I saw. Ulongwe in my mind. Ketelo, hi Ketelo. What are the results of the ballistic reports? Do they correlate with the guns that allegedly shot Senzo? Yeah, like did they take gun residues on everybody that was in the house? Because apparently gun residues do stay in your hand for at least 7 days. Even if you scrub as hard as you can, they will still remain. So they should have put some sellotapes and lifted them and then see, because the shooter definitely would have residues, and the person that was standing next to the gun, their clothes will also have some residues on. Did they take those clothes? What did they do? Yeah, you are right, Catello. Did what are the ballistic reports regarding that night? Donald Zion says KK must face her day in court. I just want to hear her fumbling. Maybe she will sing a tune for us. Every evil has its expiry date. Ziyakhala now. Mtoko Uti, KK refused to give him Senzo's ID. I liked Mzoza's line of questioning. Yeah, she's great, but I still think she needs to polish some here and there. Okay, I understood that she did. Kelly did refuse the ID when he went for it, but then I hear that Stan, which is Senzo Meyiwa's brother, she refused again. The hell? Biwa says we have not seen all the states has. That is why I feel like they have not produced anything, no evidence yet. The case is not over. We still need to hear about the gun connection and Danzi's so-called confession to two cops. Okay, great. The I don't even know. I don't even think from where I'm sitting, B West. From where I'm sitting, I doubt that the accused are even going to take the stand at some point. I don't think so. There's no evidence that is placed before this court yet. Thus far, it's just a court, what they call this, waste of time, waste of court's time, because no evidence has been placed on the table yet. But I agree with you that we still need to hear from Danzi. We still need to hear about the connection between Kelly Kumalo and all these accused that were, what do you call this, that were mentioned. But again, when you do that, can you come with evidence? Can you come with what the conversations were any conspiracy to commit murder on Senzo Meyiwa? That is what I want to hear. Other than that, Kelly is a singer. She could have went into a phone booth and somebody used the phone because they may not have airtime, and she's a star and she's got all the airtime in the world and is connected with some of the accused, and then made a call through Kelly Kumalo's phone. And now these records are coming to say no, her phone number is connecting her with some of the accused. Chances are she doesn't even know that her phone actually called these accused. Somebody else did. Because as I understand, maybe she was on the stage performing and she left the phone with whoever she leaves her phone with. Maybe her PA is connected or has some sort of a relationship with the accused. So again, there is no evidence that says the phone calls that connects her phone number with the accused is anything to go by until we hear the content of those calls. Then I will say, "Whoa, Ntombi, wisigebengu kanti." You see what I'm trying to say here? Faith, what did I miss? I just joined in a lot. We are an hour 18 minutes in. I think I'm gonna close at 1 hour 30 minutes for those that are just coming in, and then we'll just close it. Yeah, it's a Friday today. I would like to let you go wherever you're going to be having some fun tonight. Yolisa says Mtoko's points are the ID, weak relationship, Kasenzo, some people standing outside and not helping Senzo out. Yeah, that to me broke my heart as well. That Mtogo comes back into the house, sees his friend lying there, and nobody's attending to him. But of course, I understand there were a lot of arguments around. No, who's there, who was not there. Kaya, you see this intruder story thing. Dado Zion says, CD, after Mtogo's testimony today, Believe you me, there's confusion Kumalo house. Yeah, they're probably tripping over their cell phones and calling each other with the yay muya paya, and probably calling all the other witnesses with the yay buffet to go correct some few mistakes that were said there, but it's too late. Doubt is created. Brian, the ID saga was a breakthrough according to me. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The fact that Kelly had it and gave it to Stan. Now we know who did the stream swap. Now we know who did the stream swap. That's a crime. A dead person does not do a stream swap. Take their ID, look at it, and punch in their number in order to do a stream swap. Has to be done by somebody, and now we know who. And she gotta tell us who also shot Senzo Meyiwa. Yodisa says not being able to identify any accused. I don't believe that too. Coco D. Mumalo was also very good today. Oh, I missed him. I missed because yesterday I was not satisfied because I was liking the line of questioning, the slow poison, but I was like, oh my goodness, I want to see what did he do. Of course, I think I'm gonna be able to see tomorrow, like properly, that part, the replay. He paved the way for Shololo to come and grill the witness. That's great. I like that. Sibo says polygamy is when a man marries more than one woman. Okay, so bigamy is when a woman marries. Has a woman married more than one man before? Was it allowed? But okay, bigamy. Okay, I get it. Faith. Imagine to imagine Tumelo negotiating lobola. I don't know Tumelo. I've not seen him yet, but that's funny what you just said. But I told you he came for lobola negotiations. Yes, now I remember. Yes, you did. You did. You did. You did. This tomato person is scandalous. He's scandalous. He's scandalous. Yonisa, at least Umtogo did not falsely accuse Bongani Danzi. Yeah, yeah. He said he doesn't. He says that he had similar features. He's not saying it's him. So of course you throw that out. We need concrete yes or no. Is that him or it's not? Sorry. Is that him or it's not him? That's it. But he said similar features. I'm not saying it's him or it was him. He left it like that. So we set that aside. It's not evidence. Please call me SK. It's like we don't want to admit that Special K is too special. I think they're spoiled. The fact that they've been getting gigs and getting interviews and making an income says a lot about their speciality, the how special that they are. Guys, give up. She ain't showing up. We as South Africans are protecting her, buying her music. Yeah, you see, I just about saying the same thing. Playing her music, like and share, etc., and she's getting jobs. Didn't she become like a idols judge at some point, or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else? Coco D says the swim swap was allegedly done on Monday. Yes, I think around midnight on the 27th. That's true. Faith KK refused with as belongings, including clothes. The audacity. It was a mission to get even his clothes. What the hell she thinks she is? Cider is exotic drink. Why do I think you're lying to me? Yolisa washo kanjalo Mr. AK SK. Okay. Please call me SK. Oh, okay, you're agreeing with SK. Mtogo says he is not gonna comment on someone's states. I also agree on that one, but you must have an opinion at least. You are not going to make a comment, but you just state your own opinion. Like I gag, I mean, I don't understand why this. Or if you don't have a comment, then don't say anything. But that same statement is saying something about him. Then you see, that's when he's supposed to answer because it's about him. Remember, he edited a book. that said something that was incorrect about him. So if there's a statement that mentions him and it's incorrect, then he should have an opinion and edit it. Understand? Yolisa says Obaba Zuma Nate lost no Dalimpo for Epitamarisburg. You mean like the private prosecution thing? Because I think he was going for private okay. I don't lie to you guys. I don't follow anything that has to do with the former president Zuma because we've been circling this circle for a very long time. So I'm dizzy at this point. Doro Zion, I put it to UCD. Yes, my lord. I put it to UCD that Mtogo did not receive his balance. The ID part very important for me as a YouTube lawyer. I agree. I also agree on that one. I think that's probably the only credible evidence that was submitted by Togo. Maybe not only the other one that caused the major one. There was never an intruder, but yeah, the ID thing is major. Kuliso says Togo knows very well why they ended up not going to the party. Whoever called Senzo mentioned that Mandisa is at the party. Because he was going to get married customarily. And Umtogo, Umkongi, was going to be doing the negotiations. Imagine. Yolisa says Senzo was supposedly to inform Usfiso about Lobola. Hmm, interesting. Coco D, the judge doesn't want too much repetition when it comes to the questioning. There are four defense lawyers. They need to get to the point. Yeah, also this ambiguity that they keep doing as well. I think the only person that has not been ambiguous, in my opinion, is Mumalo. Mumalo seems to be cutthroat. That is why I'm calling him the slow poison, that one. I think he knows what he's doing. Not that all of them don't know, they do, but I think I wish they would do it exactly like how Numali is doing it. Elisa says Mtogo sounds like someone who is angrier to the state, but he's also helping the state by lying about the intruders, though. You see, Mtogo, if it was in a reality TV show that we know it's scripted, he would have been the character that we love to hate. You know, he's believable, but he's at the same time he's infuriating with lies. You know what I'm trying to say here? If it was a reality show, please come SK. Guys, this 12 a.m. no booze sold thing in Polokwane is hitting my friends and family hard. Everyone is prepping to take it to the High Court next week. Yeah, man. what, 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 what are you disclosing? You own a tavern? Is that what you're saying? But is it not 3 a.m. though? I thought it was 3 a.m. Why 12 a.m.? Hmm. Yeah, I guess you would win in court if it's 12 a.m. because I know it's unless the law has changed to 12 a.m. Yeah, I think it's something that you can win in court. Brian says the judge is too smart for this case. I also thought he is part of the conspiracy, but he knows what happened. Yeah, he knows. He already sees it. Like among Angela, I assure these witnesses, including the police. Yolisa, no booze. That would be the community. You mean of SK, right? Oh my gosh. Faith says I'm suffering from OCD. You do? That's one of the most irritating condition, eh? Every time you are fixing. Every time you are fixing. Come on. If you're not fixing, you are looking at other people like, why that little where you forgot to press the iron, it's bothering me. I know it comes in different ways. I don't know for other people how it comes, But for me, it comes in terms of things being skewed or something like maybe a breadcrumb or yeah, things like that that drive me crazy. Yolisa says Mtoko said to Umakumalo, uhambile nani labantu abadubula. Obedubula. Oh, okay. Lo muntu obedubula. Okay, okay, I get you now. And what did she say? What was her response though? Because I remember he said when he went back to the Kumalo house, he came across Makumalo, and then he asked if the gunman was still in the house, which I'm still saying, you went back to danger? You are safe in the Ngache house. Even if Makumalo comes out and says, no, they're gone, I would still have said no. Just wait until I see blue lights. Then I will go back. But no, Yena, he decides to go back to danger. I don't get that. I think the lawyers should have asked that question like, how is it possible that now that you are safe, you decide to go to the danger zone? How does that make sense? You know? Kulisa says, Lola, I also relate. I'm OCD. Okay. You guys make me feel better about myself because it makes me feel like I'm not alone with this. Like we talked yesterday about what do you call this social anxiety. Today we're talking about another part of stuff that we can't control. This is OCD. Sholola sounds like she's a labor court. She's in the labor court. Some Madam Commissioner, order. Maria, the clan who's. But if you look at it though, somebody might mispronounce it. You know, like Uranus, the planet. You know how they call it? They'll just say CL dash. Again, I'm being silly. Yolisa Mtogo went back to the house to check on his friend Senzo. Back to danger. He could have got shot as well if the gunman was still in the house. Imminent danger was still existing. Why go back? Why not wait for the police? Faith. Okay, wait. Yeah, Faith says, "Can you please stop mentioning that mafia's name?" Okay, that G one. Okay, I get you. I get you. Make doesn't have morals, darling. Look at her background, how she was brought up, etc. Ooh, do we know her background? I don't know. I didn't hear it. Yolisa says Togo and Tumelo thought they would be next as they were Senzo's friends. Hence, they ran away. Okay. Tumelo ran again. Oh, yeah, he locked himself in the room. Yeah, he locked himself in the room, apparently. Now, which room? Because Kelly Kuma, okay, okay. She did end up coming out and joined the crew in the kitchen. Into danger. Where is Christian? I'm asking. Daughter of Zion says, for me, the judge is very smart upstairs and not biased. He just wants the witnesses to feel comfortable so that they can keep lying and contradicting his statements. Nice strategy. Because I can imagine, as a witness, you are being bad. What is the word? You are being badgered by the defense lawyer, and then the judge comes and kind of like smooths you out, and then of course you're gonna feel a little bit comfortable and continue lying. Yeah, that's a good strategy. Faith, do you want to know who opened the door? Yeah, who opened the door? SK says, can someone post Stain's number? Ish, I need that 3 week diploma. Oh my gosh. Sasa 350 will make me a commander and a surgeon on a point of order. Oh gosh. Kulisu says, guys, allegedly. Okay. You are reminding us to say allegedly. It's an opinion. We in an opinion, there is no allegedly. It's an opinion. It's not correct, and also it's not that it's not correct. So if you're going to sue me because I didn't say allegedly, based on what? On my opinion? My opinion is my opinion. It's a constitutional right that I have. I'll just whip out the constitution and say, here you go. Freedom of expression, section 16 of the constitution. SK says, can someone post Colonel Stain's phone number? I need, okay, we already read that. Did we read that? Okay, I think it continues. 350 can be used for something that will make a colonel in 10 years just for going to a 2 week school. Yeah, myself, I was like, hey, but fair to in this country. And then you are called. But I also like his answer when he says, call me what you want, an expert or just a policeman. Lorenda says, can the state even afford to pay a lawsuit? Yeah. By the way, the lawsuit is not the state, it's us. We are the state. If you are working and you are paying taxes, you are the one that is going to pay these accused for false arrest. You and me. Yeah, that's the state. You know what I like about the United States criminal justice? Instead of saying this, what do you call this? The state versus, they say the people versus, because we are the people. So when you are suing the state, you're suing the people. Yeah. Faith says, yes, G has been deployed there. Remember his bestie with Mr. Dobbs. Yodisa says, the former MEC of Gauteng Health who visited the house must be called as well. What? Yeah, but a whole minister of health, like, okay, MEC, doing a crime? Okay, whatever. Who is he or she to the Kumalos, the Thwalas? Health MEC needs to explain why we don't have hospital CCTV from that night. Yeah. Yonisa Baloy said there are about 20 witnesses in this case. Woo, quite a long way then. Nkosnati says, yo, I don't want to be the judge in this case. No, none of us want to be the judge, but you have an opinion though, Nkosnati. I understand as a person, you are hearing things and you are seeing things. And as you do, your brain activity will be like, really, really. That's what we are doing as well. We are not being judges, we're not being lawyers, we're not qualified, but we have opinions because our brain activity is like, eh, gag, no, you see what I'm trying to say? But if you want to take that position, it's fine as well. Without, if you don't want to voice out your opinion, that's okay as well. That's very much okay. And I like the fact that you're not stopping us from voicing our opinions because some people will come in a comment section like, stop. I don't understand when the person says stop. Who, number one, the question is, who are you to tell adults what to do? But you see, when you come the way you are doing it, I like it because we can actually can spark some kind of a debate about the position you are holding and the position that I hold. You understand what I'm saying? I like that. Thank you for that. Very mature. Daughter of Zion says, and now the ID part and then Colonel Sim swap of Senzo Sim. He told the court that he can only be done by someone who has Senzo's ID. Why the swim swap? Okay, it's KK, of course. Who else would have done the swim swap? Who else would have done it? Yodisa said, altogether, what is the total cost of government or state in Arles about this case? Now, if people are being flown, like witnesses are flown from various parts of the country, placed in a hotel, of course, we have to foot that bill. Question is, how much a day does the state pay for this case? to be ongoing. SK says swim swap has never, excuse me, swim swap has never been a good thing unless you lose your phone. Ladies and gentlemen, Togo was booked at an expensive hotel by the state. Yeah, I heard the judge. I think he was being sarcastic. He said the Sheraton. Edson Dube, there is a bullet that hit the inner side of the door. According to investigating officer, a clear indication that the door was closed. Then, when the first shot was shot, so you're oh, okay. I remember Senzo's wound. It had an exit wound and no, it had an entry wound and exit wound at the back. Of course, that means that it ricocheted into something else. So now it says the inner door. Okay, I see. I see. SK says Mthogo writing statements during happy hour. Mthogo writing statements at the beach sipping cocktails. Come on, SK. I explained this yesterday that as Durmanites, we meet at the beach. Whether it's something good or bad, we meet at the beach and we just let the wave, the what they call the sea breeze hit our faces while we are doing other stuff and not drinking anything at all. Yolisa L. Longwe wanted to come inside the Kumalo house instead of seeing Zandi outside. Why did he insist on coming inside the house or why Mara? To fight whoever that he was suspecting may have been with his girlfriend. Hence the shot, my opinion, or allegedly. Yolisa Longo wanted to intimidate and irritate our Senzo. I think he was fighting Zandi, and then Senzo stood up as a man and said, "Not in my presence." And that's when the gunshot went off. SK, I'm out, clan. Friday, the fun can't have it by itself. Have fun on my behalf as well. Later days, clients. No, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. I think I should also close at the quarter two. I was supposed to have closed at 1 hour 30 minutes ago, but anyways, we'll close. No, thank you. Don't you don't have to wait. I might go even further. Yolisa, okay, let me quickly read and then we just say our goodbyes. You guys need to enjoy your weekend. Uh, I might go live again tomorrow, but later on in the evening, around 8, 9, I hope that will be fine. We don't have to talk about the case. It could be other stuff. We could just have fun and talk with each other, get to know each other. Just share the link and then we'll just talk. If you want to voice your opinion about the what had happened during the week, because of course I have the week that was with your boy Clancis, and then that one we can just add in this and that, whatever. USK by Yolisa says Longo saw an opportunity to see Senzo by pretending to be visiting Zandi to provoke him. Tsatsi, I think Kaya told nothing but the truth. Oh, okay. But the rest were just trying to protect whatever they wanted to protect. I get you. I get what you're saying. He's very convincing, I must say. That is why I'm saying if it was a reality TV show, he would be the character that you would love to hate because there are parts where he's telling the truth. Like I said, at the beginning of his testimony, that I believe 70% of what he was saying. My problem is when it came to the intruders. That's where me and Nanaye we go our separate ways because he himself he cannot put the story together properly. How would you not remember the most crucial part of the 26th? But you can remember other things. The crucial. Come on. Highly favored says the whole thing is so confusing. The state witnesses Zandi and Togo pointed out accused number 1 and 2 as the intruders. Why then is the state using accused number 3's photos where he has locks? And they really stuck on that. They stuck on that. Doro Zion says we are just YouTube lawyers. We're just YouTube lawyers, J. Law school, dollar. But we can put it to the Kumalos and witness, and we have been putting to them. That is true. We know nothing about the law, nothing, but we have opinions. Sassy says, my question is, if there were intruders in the house, they just allowed longer to walk out? Yeah, this is a thing that we've been questioning all this time. Without harming him or something, I just don't get it. None of us do. None of us do. Because the moment, number one, Kelly ran, and I'll be worried as a gunman and as a suspect number two. And secondly, not only this second person escapes but leaves the house entirely, and you're still in the house. Wow. Lorenda, this is the last comment. Lorenda says, good night from warm dirt. Oh, Lorenda, why are you doing this? Look at me. This is a heater right in front of me. Then you have to go and say warm Durban. Mhm. Good night from warm Durban. We'll drink cocktail and oh no, Lorenda, why are you doing this to me? I love Bunny Chow from the yes, the Oriental, yes, in workshop. You need to send me a Bunny Chow for that reason. Your punishment is to send me a Bunny Chow from the Oriental at workshop, okay? Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for participating in tonight's live stream. I highly appreciate each and every one of y'all. You guys are the best. I love you. I love you. From we had USA tonight, we had Dubai tonight. What happened to Australia? What is that? Smongile. What happened to you? What happened to Canada? What happened to Saudi Arabia? But anyways, guys, I'm just being silly now. Anyways, thank you all so much. Much love from me. Thank you for joining. We will see each other tomorrow when we are doing the week that was with your boy Clanters. We don't have to talk about the case. We can just talk about other things. We can even, yeah, let's see. Please do participate in the links that I'm going to be posting. You can just say hi. You don't have to elaborate on too many things. We can just talk and have fun on a Saturday evening. Okay? Some of us who are boring. Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you all. Mwah, 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 mwah. Much love, much love. Let me end it all. Good night.